Hey guys, Cryptodad here again, and today I'm going to show you how to use Stellar Lumens, or the Stellar Network. So let's get going. Okay, so I wanted to do a video on how you use Stellar Lumens or the Stellar Network. Stellar is a cryptocurrency in one sense, Stellar Lumens, but Stellar is also a network, a blockchain-based network, very similar to Ripple, and also similar to Bitcoin because it uses blockchain technology. I wanted to sort of walk you through some of the basic uses of Stellar and Stellar Lumens. Now, you might decide that you just want to buy some Stellar and just put it in a wallet and hang on to it, but you also might be a little interested in how the Stellar network works and maybe use it on a decentralized network, because there are some other cryptocurrencies that you can buy and hold using a Stellar wallet. So I thought I'd go through a few different use cases for you. So I think one of the first things I'll do is explain to you what Stellar is. And then I'm going to show you how to buy a little Stellar if you have no Stellar at all. Then I'm going to show you how to store your Stellar. I'll show you how to download one of the main Stellar wallets for the desktop. I'll also show you how to store your Stellar on a Ledger Neto S. And then I'm going to download Stellar Term, which is a decentralized Stellar network app that will allow you to sort of buy and trade other cryptocurrencies using Stellar. But first I'll give you just kind of a quick overview of what Stellar is. This is the Stellar website, stellar.org. Now, Stellar, there is stellar.org is the organization that sort of maintains and promotes the Stellar core software. And then the Stellar Network is what you've got pictured here. It's kind of a bank. And the idea is that I can send people money across the Stellar network. And when I say money, I'm talking about anything exchange of value. So the idea is I've got dollars. I want to send somebody in a different country value in their currency using my dollars. So I would use my dollars to purchase some credit on the Stellar network, and then I would transfer over to through the Stellar network to my friend, and she would be able to withdraw in the currency that she uses in her country, or he, either way. Okay, so here we are in my Coinbase account, and so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Litecoin, and the reason that I use Litecoin is because of speed. So, for example, if I decided I wanted to use Bitcoin to do this, I would buy some Bitcoin, transfer it into my Binance account, and use the Bitcoin to buy Stellar. That's pretty straightforward, okay? The only problem with that is the speed. Sometimes it can take a few hours, sometimes it could take several hours. You never really know with Bitcoin. So I use Litecoin, because the purchase on Coinbase is instantaneous, and then when I transfer my Litecoin to Binance, that's fast too. It only takes a matter of minutes as opposed to a matter of hours. Okay, so that's why I'm using Litecoin to do this. So a lot of people point out to me when they watch my videos, hey, why didn't you just buy Bitcoin directly on Coinbase and transfer it into Binance? Much more straightforward. Yes, much more straightforward, but much, much slower. Okay, so to get this whole thing started, we're going to get some Litecoin. So we're going to go over here to the Buy Sell tab, and we're going to choose Litecoin. Now you'll notice that the default method is the banking account that I have connected to my Coinbase account. Now, just using that is going to delay the transaction by a day or so. All right, so I want to avoid that. Now, if you're buying large amounts, you might want to stick with the banking account. They give you a higher limit, but it slows everything down. So I'm going to show you the quickest method using the debit card. So you'll notice here I can switch over to my debit card. And I have a weekly limit on my debit card, which has, you may have a much lower limit if you've just opened your Coinbase account. I've had this Coinbase account for quite a while. You'll see that my banking limit is pretty high, and even my debit card is fairly high. And I'm just going to buy $25 worth here. I'm just going to show you the mechanics of this. Okay, so we're going to do $25. And we're going to buy some Litecoin. So I'm going to hit buy Litecoin instantly, and I'm going to confirm that. And boom. Now I can go back over here to accounts, and you'll notice that immediately I had that Litecoin. See, this is why I'm using Litecoin and the debit card, because I immediately get those coins in my wallet. Now I'm going to use my little trick. I'm going to go over here to GDAX, which is the sister site of Coinbase, which is their trading platform. And the reason I'm using GDAX is because when you send and receive cryptocurrency using GDAX, they will absorb the network fees of the cryptocurrencies that you're using. So they absorb the Bitcoin network fees, they absorb the Litecoin network fees. You can basically send and receive cryptocurrency basically for free on GDAX. They just want you to trade on their platform, and they make money that way. All right, so I need to get my Litecoin into my GDAX account. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to hit deposit. I can pull it over from my Coinbase account. All right, so you'll notice here that the Litecoin, I have Litecoin in my Coinbase account that I can just transfer into this account. So I'm going to just punch in that exact amount. All right, I can put the full amount and hit deposit. And you can see that immediately I have all of it, right? I didn't have to pay any fees to transfer from Coinbase to GDAX. Now I'm going to move my Litecoin from my GDAX account to my Binance account. And you'll notice when we're done, this full balance is going to be transferred over to Binance with no fees subtracted at all. So the only hit that I took when I purchased was the merchant fee that I got charged when I bought the Litecoin on Coinbase. All right, so I need to go over here to my Litecoin wallet and on Binance, and I'm going to deposit some Litecoin in there. So they're going to generate a deposit address for me, or what's known as a receiving address. And I'm going to use that receiving address on GDAX to send my Litecoin. So I'm going to do a withdrawal from GDAX to a Litecoin address. And the Litecoin address is the address that I just generated over on Binance. So we just look over here and we can confirm LVU, and then it ends in CAH. So we've got the LVU and the CAH and everything in between. You can go through it one by one if you want. How much am I going to send? I'm going to send all the Litecoin that happens to be on my GDAX right now, which is the $25 worth that we bought on Coinbase. Now, in my case, I have two-step authentication enabled, so I'm going to need to enter that code in order to make the withdrawal. And that is the exact same code that I'm using on my Coinbase account. You can see that Coinbase and GDAX are linked together. So I'm going to choose withdrawal funds here. And boom, it's been initiated. So now we'll just have to wait maybe about 10 or 15 minutes for the money to appear in my Binance account. Okay, so in order to hold some Stellar, we're going to need to download one of their wallets. So I like desktop wallets. I'm going to demonstrate those for you today. They do have mobile wallets if you want to hold Stellar in a mobile wallet. So the big ones are Ledger, Stellar Term, Foxlet, and Stargazer. So I'm going to demonstrate the Ledger for you, and Stellar Term and Foxlet. Okay, so let's check Ledger first. The way Ledger works is you need to have the Stellar app on your Ledger Nano S. So if you have the Ledger Nano S, you connect it to your computer. You enter your PIN. Okay, and once you've entered your PIN, you can go over here to the Ledger Manager. If you don't have the Ledger Manager downloaded in your browser, you'll want to run over to the Ledger website and get that thing. All right, so this is the Ledger Nano website, and this is the apps section of the website where you download apps. You'll want to run down here and pick up the Ledger Manager. You should already have it, but in case you don't. So you go over here to your apps. The Ledger apps are in Chrome right now. I believe they're working on some desktop related apps, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so I'm just going to open up a new tab and go over here to my apps and launch my Ledger Manager. My assumption is that if you've never used Stellar, you don't have it yet. So you just want to run down here, it's towards the bottom here, and you'll want to install the Stellar on here. And so you just hit this little green down arrow, and it's going to install the Stellar app on your Ledger. And you're going to want to confirm that by clicking the little check mark by pressing the button. Okay. And you should see processing here. When you're done, you will have the Stellar app on your Ledger. So you can see Stellar is there now. Now, I'm just going to go into it by hitting both buttons, and boom, there I am on Stellar. Now, one little caveat that you might want to double check before you go into your Stellar wallet is go into Settings and make sure that browser support is on, right? It has to be yes, not no. If it shows you no, you want to move over here to yes and hit both buttons. Okay, so now I'm going to close down the Ledger Manager app, and I'm going to go back over here to the Stellar website. Under Wallets, I'm going to choose Ledger, and I'm going to use the account viewer. And you'll notice here that I've got this nice blue button, Sign In with Ledger, and that's why we had to set up the browser support on so that we can use the account viewer. So we'll just click Sign In with Ledger, and there we've got access to our little Stellar wallet. Now you'll notice that I have some Stellar in here already. I transferred it over from Binance a while back, so your balance will probably be 0, and then I'm going to show you how to transfer some Stellar in here. All right. Now, so that's the Ledger Nano S. Now let's go back over here. So now we're gonna check out the Stellar Term, right? I'm gonna click Stellar Term. Now I want to download this wallet directly onto my computer. I don't really want to run this in my browser, so I'm gonna choose Download Wallet here. All right, and then they have some links here to download their wallets. So I want to choose Windows, in my case, and they take us over here to their GitHub site, and they have 2 links that take you to the same place, obviously. So we want the Windows version here, so I'm just going to click on this. Now you'll notice here that they have some SHA sums. A little mysterious, but I'll show you how to use those to verify your download. Always good, best practice to verify your downloads. That's how Cryptodad got started, right? All right, so I'm going to download Stellar. Now you could just drop it in your documents. You could drop it in your downloads. You could drop it on your desktop, whatever you want to do. I like to create a nice, neat, tidy folder when I'm downloading things so I know where they are. So I have a little software folder here. And once I'm in there, I'm gonna choose new folder, and I'll call this Stellar. Whoops. Stellar. All right, and now that I've created my Stellar folder, I'm just gonna click Save and let that guy download to my computer. All right. Now, we talked about the verification. How do we verify this download using those crazy SHA sums that they showed us here? All right. So, which SHA sum should we use? Obviously, we would want the SHA-256 associated with the Windows. Okay. And so here it is. It's kind of a long, crazy key or number or whatever you want to call it. It's well, it's a hash is what it is. It was generated using a hash algorithm, okay, by the developers on their end. So what we're going to do is do the same thing on our end. We're going to generate a hash based on the using the hash algorithm, the hash 256 algorithm, on this compressed installer that we downloaded. All right, so how do we do that? I'm going to use a little piece of software called a SHA sum checker. That's the MD5 and SHA sum checker. There's other ways to do this. You could do the command line in Windows. There are other SHA sum checkers. I like this one because of its comparison feature. So the first thing we do is browse to the file that we wish to check. So we'll go over here to Stellar, and we'll click on the file, and we'll choose Open. Now you'll notice that it generated several hashes. The hash that we're interested in is this one. All right, that's the one that we just generated on our end. We want to compare it to the one the developers generated on their end. So we'll just paste that guy in there. Remember, I know it's been a minute or two, but I did highlight this guy and copy it into my clipboard. Okay, so I'm just going to paste it right here and click Verify, and you'll see that the SHA-256 matched. All right, this one on the top is the same as this one down here. So the one that I generated on my end, on my computer, using the file that I downloaded, matches the one that they generated on their end before they sent it. This verifies that the file that I downloaded is the exact same file that the developers provided on their end. Nothing got corrupted, nothing got damaged in transport, and nothing got switched by a man-in-the-middle attack as I was downloading. All right, so this is a verification process. All right, so now that we've done that, let's go back over here to our Stellar folder, and I'm going to decompress that. All right, so I like to decompress to a folder of the same name in the same folder. Now that I've decompressed, I can get rid of that that compressed file. All right, there we go. Now we've got the software that we're looking for, Stellar Term. In the case of Stellar Term, you need to manage that private key. On the ledger sort of takes care of that for you. So we're going to choose, this is the first time we've launched this wallet, we're going to choose Sign Up. All right, and in order to sign up, we're going to need to create a key pair. All right, I'm going to generate my key pair. I have to accept this. Generate that key pair, and looky there. So I've got a public key and a secret key. All right, and we need to keep these secret. So we don't want anyone to see them, and we want to store them in a safe place. I have a lot of people that watch my videos that complain if I, cut and paste these into text files because oh my God, you just put it in your clipboard. Well, that is a very safe and secure way to manage secret keys, but it's very, very inconvenient. Okay, I don't want to type in this, I don't know how, it looks like it's about 30 or 40 characters long every time I go to access this wallet. So I am going to cut and paste it into a text file. If that seems insecure to you, if that makes you feel uncomfortable, then you're more than welcome to pull out a piece of paper and a pencil and just write it down and type it in every time you log into your account. I don't want to be, I'm not being a hater here. If you want to be totally safe and secure, you're welcome to use pencil and paper. I'm not. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this stuff and copy it into my clipboard. Now, I am going to be a little bit secure by using a, I'm not going to save this key on my computer, okay? I am going to be a little bit secure. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put it on a flash drive, and I'll save it over there. Now, in my case, I'm going to use an encrypted flash drive. I have an encrypted. You don't have to use an encrypted flash drive if you don't want to. You could just use a regular flash drive if you want to. But I'm going to demonstrate how to use an encrypted flash drive. All right, now I'm using VeraCrypt, so when I put the flash drive in, Windows thinks it needs to be formatted, which it does not. So I'll cancel that out. I'm going to launch VeraCrypt. I'm going to use, I can use any of these virtual drives that I want to, but A is at the top, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to select my device, which is that flash drive I just put in, and I'm going to choose Mount and enter my password. Alright, and then we'll open this guy up. Now that's my security step. Alright, and you'll see over here that I have an A drive mounted, and that is that shows me the contents of this encrypted flash drive. If you want to skip that step and just use a regular flash drive, that's also a good solution too, because you'll save it on this flash drive and then keep the flash drive separate from your computer. Okay. So I'm going to create a new folder here. I'll call it Stellar, and inside here I'm going to create a text file. Text it, just keep it simple. I'll call this one Keys. Alright, and then I'm going to, in this text file, I'm going to paste that information in there. Alright, and so there you go. That's the public key and the secret key. Alright, so I'm going to save that. And now we can get this thing going here, right? We'll go back over here to the Stellar term, and we'll go back. We're going to go here to login with key now. All right. Now they want the secret key. All right, so we need to go back to our text file. So we'll just open that up. I'm going to highlight my, you need the secret key. I'm going to copy that. And then I'm just going to close that guy down and move this out of the way. Now that I have the secret key, I'll just paste it in. And once again, I'll remind you, some people think it's insecure to keep secret keys in your clipboard because hackers can, penetrate your machine and steal stuff that's in your clipboard. And that's a valid concern. But I've got a pretty secure computer. I'm running malware protection, virus protection. I don't click on crazy links. I run a pretty tight ship, so I'm not worried about hackers in my clipboard. You may be. All right. So I paste that secret key there and log in, and boom. Okay, so now that we've initiated this wallet, we're going to go ahead and transfer some Stellar in there so we can get this thing going. So let's see how our little transaction over on Binance is doing. And we'll go over here to Binance, and we can see that I have a Litecoin balance now, which is all well and good. So I need to get some Stellar. And so if we look at Stellar and we check trade, you'll see that they have trading pairs. So in order to get Stellar, we need to trade another cryptocurrency for Stellar. And in this case, there's a BNB, BTC, which is Bitcoin. BNB is the Binance coin. Ethereum or US Tether. And so I have Litecoin. So I need to get my Litecoin converted into one of these in order to buy the Stellar. No, like I said, it's a little bit convoluted, but the reason I used the Litecoin was because of the speed of the transfer. Okay, I didn't have to wait 8 hours for the transfer from GDAX to Binance. That has happened to me before. When I used Ethereum, I transferred Ethereum from GDAX to Binance. I didn't get a charge, but it took like 8 hours. Okay, so that's why I used Litecoin. So not a big deal. All I need to do is trade my Litecoin for another cryptocurrency that I can use to purchase Stellar. And in this case, I'm going to use BNB, which is the Binance coin, because you get a little break on your transaction fees when you use Binance coin. So let's go over here to the exchange. And we want a BNB over here. These are the different cryptos. And I want LTC, which is Litecoin. And there's the trading pair I'm looking for, Litecoin to BNB. So you can see down here I have a balance of Litecoin. And I'm just going to sell it all for so it'll be converted to BNB. Now, I'm not a great trader, so if any of you are traders out there, you're going to probably laugh at me in the way that I do this. I'm just trying to get the currency converted. I'm not really interested in saving a lot of money on this. I know I'm going to take a hit. If you're interested in trading, I got a friend of mine who has his own YouTube channel. His name is his name is Crypto Bitcoin Chris. I'm going to put a promotion card in this video up in the corner. You can check him out. Go over to his site if you're interested in all the niceties of trading. But so just bear with me now as I show you how to convert your Litecoin to BNB. So I'm going to go market because I want it to happen right away. And I'm going to sell all my Litecoin. And so I've got 1.96 in Litecoin. I'm going to hit this little 100%. And I'm going to hit this little button down here, sell Litecoin. Okay, so I sold all my Litecoin and now I have BNB. So let's go back over here to our balances. And you'll look here, I've got Binance coin now. So I have 1.5 Binance coin. Now I can buy Stellar Lumens, which is why we started this whole thing. All right, so we'll go over here to Stellar. All right, and I want to trade Stellar. So I'm going to go over here to the trade, and I'm going to go to the XLM BNB market, since now I have the BNB. Takes me right over here. So I want to buy Stellar, okay? And you can see here that I've got a BNB balance, and I can buy XLM. So I'm going to go to market again because that happens right away, although you might miss the best price. And I'm going to do 100%. Now sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't, because I'm using the BNB to pay my transaction fee. So sometimes there's a little bit of an overlap and the transaction doesn't work. I'm going to just cross my fingers and hope it works here. So I'm going to hit buy XLM. And it worked. Okay. Sometimes it tells me that there wasn't enough, the balance wasn't high enough or whatever. So I'll leave that mystery to the ages, and we'll just go over here and bask in the glory of our new Stellar Lumens that we've managed to purchase here. So we've got 88 Stellar Lumens here. Okay. So now we've got what we need to fund this wallet. Okay, so I'm going to take these Stellar Lumens and put some of them into the Stellar Term wallet for you. And here we are. Now we've got this receiving address, and we need to put at least 5 in here to activate the wallet. And I've got 88 over on my Binance account, so I will go ahead and do that transfer. So we go back over here to Binance. and we're going to do withdrawal. Right, and we're going to withdraw to that address. Now I don't need a memo in this case. The memo is used when you're transferring Stellar to an exchange. Some exchanges require the memo field, and they will give it to you when you initiate a deposit. They'll tell you, okay, you need to use this memo field. But in this case, we're sending it to our own wallet, and we're not requiring the memo at all. Now I've got 88. I'm just going to do 40. All right. There'll be a small transaction fee here, you see, and I'll click submit. Now I need my Google Authenticator code because I have Google Authentication, two-factor authentication on my Binance. So I'm just going to enter that little code there. And then Binance always sends me a confirmation email, which I will need to click as well. There we go. They want me to confirm my withdrawal. All right. And that's all there is to it. So let's go back over here and go back over here to our balances. And you can see now that I have initiated a withdrawal. See, because I have an available balance of 48. Basically what that means is I've initiated a withdrawal. So we can go over here to transaction history, into withdrawals, and you can see there it's processing that 39.99 that I withdrew to the Stellar Term wallet, which we have over here. When the transaction completes, when I go to this account tab, I should see a balance as opposed to just this wallet ID. So let's hold our breath and see what happens. Now, had I wanted to transfer that Stellar into my Ledger Nano S, would have been very similar. So I'm just going to get this one out of the way. We'll go over here to the Stellar website again, stellar.org, and over here to wallets, Ledger. We don't need to install anything. It just they have an account viewer, and we'll sign in with Ledger. And as you can see, I told you earlier I already have a balance in there, so we can just highlight this, and that would be the address that we would send to from Binance. So we would do the exact same thing. We would go over here to our balances, choose withdrawal, and paste in the address of our Ledger Nano S. Right. And then they want you to check the address of the ledger on that. Oh, I think anyway. All right, so that's how you would transfer to your ledger. Now, as you can see, I already have some in there, so I'm not going to go through that. I'll leave that to you as an exercise. So let's take a look at our account here and see if we can do a refresh or something to get this thing to show us. Okay, while I'm waiting for that, I am going to go back over to the Stellar website. And I'm going to download the Foxlit desktop Stellar wallet. For those of you who don't own a Ledger Nano S and aren't planning on doing any peer-to-peer exchanges on the Stellar network, for those of you who just want to store your Stellar in a wallet, a desktop wallet, we can try Foxlit. That's one of the big ones. So we'll do Get Wallet. All right, it took us over to the Foxlit wallet, download, and we're going to click download here. And it takes us to a GitHub page, and so we're going to want, in this case, we want Windows 64, okay? So make sure you download the right one. I know it's a little confusing because you click a button and you're presented with a bunch of choices. So we're looking for Stellar Desktop Win64. Not too many people are running old 32-bit computers anymore and 32-bit operating systems, but so you generally, if you're running Windows, you would go with 64. So we'll just click that. Now I don't see, ah, they've got these wonderful SHA sums for us, don't they? Isn't that nice? In this case, I don't see a SHA 256. I see a SHA 1 or an MD5. So we can verify using that as well. So let's click on the 64, and I'm in my Stellar folder, and in this, I'm just going to drop this wallet in here too. Right? Let's open up that folder from Chrome and take a look what we got over here. So there we go. Now before we decompress this, I'm going to run the SHA sum check on there. So I'll go back over here to software, to my SHA sum checker, which just happens to be above Stellar, which is convenient. Just open this guy up. We're going to browse over to that file that we just downloaded, which is the Stellar desktop. We're going to open that up, and these hashes get generated. This is a local transformation that I'm running on my own file using my own software, and I want to make sure that this SHA hash, SHA-1 hash, matches the one that they provided on their website. So let's check it out here. We want the Win64, and this is the one that we want to match. I'm going to copy that into my clipboard. Here we are. Sorry about that, gang. Alright, so just by eyeballing it, we can see that it starts with 300A, 33877, ends in 904. Looks like the same thing, but instead of going by character, I can just paste that guy in and click verify. And it'll tell me that the SHA-1 matched, right? MD5 probably matches as well. I think they got the MD5 down here, which is FF19EE53, and that looks pretty good too. I can copy this guy, go back over here, and this time I'll just paste that one in and click verify, and there we go, the MD5 matched. So it's pretty simple and quick once you get the hang of these verifications, and then we can proceed knowing that we've downloaded a good copy of the file. Alright, so I'm going to decompress and extract to a folder with the same name. Keep things nice and neat. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I don't need the compressed file anymore. I'll get rid of that. And so let's go in here, Win64, and we'll go ahead and launch our Stellar wallet for the first time. Isn't that fun? We'll just double click. And we just launched the Fox.wallet. wallet. Okay, so this is the first time we've used this wallet, so we're going to create a new account. Now, we could import an existing secret key, like the one that we used for Stellar Term. I'm just gonna keep them logically separate in our minds here. All right, so we're just going to create a brand new wallet. You could also open an existing wallet or account that you may have had somewhere else, but instead I'm going to create an empty account. And it wants us to save it. Okay. I could save it in the exact same folder as the wallet. I'm not. I'm just going to back up. I'm just going to back it up to the Stellar folder, and then I'll save this wallet file. I guess you could save it anywhere you want, and you can use this as like an account file, and I believe there's probably a private key in here, so it's up to you where you want to save it. For convenience sake, I'm going to save it on my hard drive, but you could save it on an external flash if you wanted to, and just make sure you put in the flash drive whenever you access your funds. So I'm just going to save this wallet here. Alright, and it wants us to encrypt the file, so I am going to create a password. So I'm going to create a password for this file. Pick yourself a good password and don't lose it. You can't recover passwords on cryptocurrency wallets. Alright, so we're going to encrypt the account, and there we go. Now, so we have a secret key which is saved on the hard drive in encrypted form so people can't steal it. We've got a password. I guess, okay. So you have the option of showing the secret key. And they ask you, are you in a safe place where no person or camera can see your screen? And you say, okay. And then you can see that secret key, and you can highlight it, copy it. And in this case, I will go back over to my A drive, right? And let's go back out here. I had stellar keys here. I think I'm going to make this one a little more meaningful. I'll call this the stellar term. Oops. That's the one that we just did a few minutes ago. And then I'm going to create a new one here. And we'll call this one the stellar foxlet keys. And this is the encrypted flash drive that I have. So this is basically just a backup of that secret key in case the wallet gets uninstalled or the hard drive crashes. I've got that secret key backed up. Because as you know, as we've shown, you can use the secret key to access the wallet. All right, so let's hide this guy again. Yes, I've saved my secret key. Alrighty. Okay. So I poked around in the wallet. I'm trying to figure out how to send some money into this wallet, right? I want to put some money in the wallet. So here's the stellar address of this wallet. All right. So I'm going to copy that guy over. And I'm going to go back over to my Binance account. Let's refresh this and see. That one has been completed. So we're in good shape there. So I'm just going to take what's left of the stellar and do another withdrawal. And in this case, I'm going to send it into that Foxlet wallet. We don't need the memo field. And I'm just going to click the total available, and it's going to give me the total minus the transaction fee. And I'm going to click submit on that. And I'm going to enter my Google Authenticator code. All right, and then they're going to send me that confirmation email again. I will confirm that as well. And we've sent off some stellar to that wallet as well. So let's check on our stellar term. Now that it has received that stellar, we've got a little bit of a different interface here on the account. Please make sure you have your key securely backed up. Never share your secret key or recovery phrase with anyone. As you recall, we saved that key on the encrypted flash drive. All right, and then they give us a little bit of a blurb about what it's all about, and we say, so let's click accept and continue there. And boom, there we go. So now you can see the account ID is here at the top. That's the receiving address. Where is the money stored? In the Stellar network, funds exist on the network and can only be moved by whoever has the secret key, being me or you, if you're following along here at home, there at home. This means the secret key is very sensitive. Whoever has access to it can move funds. The money is not inside Stellar Term. Stellar Term is just a helpful tool. The actual Stellar exists on the Stellar blockchain. So we never really hold the Stellar itself. We hold the secret key, which gives us access to the Stellar that lives on the blockchain. Almost identical to the way Bitcoin works. A lot of people ask me, like, how much Bitcoin can my Ledger Nano hold? Well, the Bitcoin is not on the Ledger Nano. It's the private keys are on the Ledger Nano. So in this case, we've got private keys that control our Stellar, and those private keys are saved on an encrypted hard drive, not saved on the computer. You could save it on the computer, but you leave yourself vulnerable to hacking attacks if you have it stored on the computer. Or we talked about that before. If you're super secure, you can have it written down on a piece of paper, with a pen and paper or a pencil and paper. But then again, you want to make sure that that piece of paper doesn't fall into the wrong hands, right? So enough about the secret key. So here we go. We've got our wallet funded, and it's got $11.47 worth of Stellar in there. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of how you move money into these wallets, right? So, Stellar wallets require a minimum balance of 1 Stellar, with an additional requirement of 0.5 for each entry in the account, such as a trust line officer. You can read more about Stellar. Okay, so you need to, you need to maintain a small balance to keep the wallet functional. Okay, same with Ripple. Ripple does that too. Ripple requires 20 Ripple to be in a wallet, which trips up a lot of people. So here we go. I've got a trading client. I've got some money in here, and then I can go over here to exchange, and I can trade my Stellar for other stuff. So I've got XLM. Let's see here. Where does it show my balance? I don't see my balance right here. I guess I have to, flip back and forth to see my balance. I can look at my balance here, 39.98, and then I can go to the exchange and I can buy other cryptocurrencies that live on the Stellar network. Here I've got Mobius, so I could buy Mobius using what Stellar I have. Or let's look at some of the other trading pairs. Boy, they got all kinds of dandy little things that we can trade. All right, so we could trade for Ethereum, BTC. This is what they call decentralized peer-to-peer exchange. Okay, so happy trading, everybody. I won't go into the trades, but as you can see, Stellar is a token that you can buy and hold. It is also Stellar Lumens is the token. You've got the Stellar network, which is the underlying infrastructure, the blockchain, and then with Stellar you can sort of on top of that Stellar core network, you've got these peer-to-peer exchanges where we can buy and sell Stellar for other cryptocurrencies that are compatible with the Stellar network. So let's go over and look at our, let's look at Binance here real quick and see if we're still processing that other guy. It looks like that one's completed as well. They didn't take very long. Let's check the Foxlet, see what we got in here. Let's go back over. Oh, there we go. So I just went to history, and you can see that let's get rid of the clutter here. All right, you can see that I've the deposit is complete, and that I have some Stellar in my Foxlet wallet, which is kind of cool. And as you can see, the Foxlet wallet also has this trade feature that will allow me to trade Stellar for other tokens that exist on the Stellar network. Let me get back. Okay, so you can see your balance here. We can send Stellar to another person, very similar to a Bitcoin wallet. Okay, so we in this particular wallet, looks like we have to sort of add these one by one into the Stellar trading interface. Okay, there we go. All right, so I mean, when I first opened the wallet, it had something there. I can't remember what it was, but somehow I accidentally got rid of it. So we could use this as the base asset. We could use Stellar as the base asset and use this one as the counter asset, right? If we wanted to trade. And there we can make our trade. And then if we want to get something else, we got to go over here and trust it. Okay, so just a smattering, you'll go over here and you can set trust. And once you set trust, you can go back over here to the trade. And then you've got more options to set up your trades on this decentralized peer-to-peer trading network that we can use with Foxlit and Stellar Term. So I hope that gets you guys going on Stellar. So before I sign off, I'd like to let everybody know that I do have a live stream every Friday night at 6 p.m. At Pacific Standard Time. I call it the live Q&A from LA, or in LA, however you want to say it. And I encourage you to join me if you have any specific questions about Stellar or Bitcoin or the Ledger Nano S or anything that you're curious about. You think I might have a good answer for you. Join me in the live stream. I'll try to get to all of your questions. I look forward to seeing you and hope to see you there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell there that you can click to enable notifications so that you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. So once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.